Tony retail store Saks Fifth Avenue has apologized to Washington Wizards general manager Will Dawkins for a racial profiling incident that happened back in November of 2023. The luxury department store sent a formal apology to Dawkins after security guards accused him of stealing clothing from its Miami location. According to Anscape, a Brickell City Center security guard and a Miami police officer followed and detained Dawkins for a mistaken crime. However, surveillance video from the previous night showed that they had misidentified him as the culprit. Larry Bruce, president of SFA, the entity that operates Saks Fifth Avenue's store fleet, shared the letter sent to Dawkins on LinkedIn. In the apology, he took accountability for the store's actions and stated the termination of the security guard involved. Larry Bruce had this to say: I recently sent a letter below on behalf of Saks Fifth Avenue stores to apologize to Will Dawkins, the general manager of the Washington Wizards, as well as to thank him for the way that he has worked with us to create a positive outcome from the terrible experience he had in our Brickell store. There was a violation of our policies that never should have happened. It is an important reminder to our entire organization that we must continually work to ensure that every guest that comes through our doors is welcome and treated with respect. As part of this, we are pleased to be making donations to three worthy organizations that we are dedicated to making a positive impact on causes that are important to Mr. Dawkins: Greater Washington Urban League, Roca Springfield, Massachusetts, and Miami Coalition to Advance Racial Equity. Dear Mr. Dawkins, my name is Larry Bruce, and I am the president of Saks Fifth Avenue stores. I am writing to apologize for the way you were treated at Saks Fifth Avenue Brickell City Center store in Miami on November 2nd of 2023. I fully acknowledge that a Saks Fifth Avenue security team member who is no longer with the company broke protocol by approaching you without identifying himself, falsely accused you of shoplifting, and, with the assistance of Miami PD, wrongfully detained you. This never should have happened. We take full responsibility as these actions not only violate our security training and policies, but also do not reflect the values of our company. I am committed to taking measures to prevent situations like this from occurring in the future. As it relates to the incident, all remaining Brickell security team members were retrained by November 10th of 2023. Moreover, as a regular practice, store security teams are retrained anytime there is a situation that does not adhere to our security policies and procedures. I appreciate the way in which you chose to engage with us over the past few months, giving us an opportunity to collaborate with you on resolving this matter in a way that hopefully creates a positive outcome out of a terrible situation. We know you are dedicated to supporting causes that are important to you, and we plan to make donations in your name to the following worthy organizations that we have identified together. Number 1, Greater Washington Urban League. Number 2, Roca Springfield MA. And number 3, Miami Coalition of Advanced Racial Equity, or MCARE. Thank you again. Your handling of this has allowed a negative situation to have a more positive outcome for others. As I reflect on our mistake, please know that I, along with my entire team, am committed to doing everything we can to ensure that Saks Fifth Avenue provides all of our guests what they deserve: a welcoming and inclusive environment where every person is valued and respected. Now, I want to just state that this is further proof that racial discrimination against Black men happens quite a bit whenever you happen to go into a high-profile store, name brand store, or even a local store. These things tend to happen to Black men, young Black men, and our young boys directly out here. And the reason that you don't see a lot of people talking about the store, because there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no insinuations. The head of the chain came directly out and stated, yes, this did happen. We had racial discrimination that took place. We looked back at the cameras, and obviously, Mr. Dawkins is not the man that we assumed was the person to be stealing. The security guard, along with the police, were incorrect in the handling of the situation, and nor should Mr. Dawkins should have been detained for anything at all. Right? They said he just simply came into the store just to shop, just like any other customer. But due to the fact of the color of his skin was the reason that he was detained, the reason that he was stopped. And again, the head of the store said it should not have happened. You're not going to hear conservatives talk about this. You're not going to hear many others talk about this. Because again, Mr. Dawkins is a man that makes, I think from what they stated online, $3 million a year, somewhere, in that ballpark. So again, this man has no reason to steal. He obviously is able to afford pretty much, a lot of things. If it catches his eye, he can pretty much put the money down directly on it and get that. But due to people assuming, they felt that Mr. Dawkins was at the wrong place. They felt that Mr. Dawkins was not able to afford any of the things that was at Saks. They felt that Mr. Dawkins fit the description of a criminal. And it wasn't because they knew him, wasn't because they saw him before. It was all assumed because of the color of his skin. And I'm just trying to reiterate again, this is America. These are the same things that black men have gone and had to deal with today, tomorrow, and also yesterday. Even black men older than me, some of them who are also long gone, have had to face and deal with these types of situations. The only difference is now, America seems to be maybe a little bit different, right? The treatment is going to be maybe a little bit different. Back in the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, things were way different. And at a point in time, if they would have assumed that you as a black man were in their stores and stealing, the outcome would have been vastly different. There would have been no apology. There would have been no reports directly on it. The only thing that would have been stated for the headlines is that black man, rich store, stealing. That was it. And then they would have just said, a little opinion piece, and that was it, without giving the actual evidence or the actual information. So like I said, I find it funny that mainstream media and many others don't seem to run stories like this every 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, letting people know that these occurrences still happen to this day and that they exist in the America that we have.